Hi everyone, super exciting day for me today, and hopefully you, because I'm making major interior upgrades to my 2015 Porsche Cayman S, and I'm taking you on this journey with me. As you recall, almost a year ago I purchased this car, and I purposely purchased it bare bones. I was looking for one with as few options as possible so I can go ahead and add as many as I want in the aftermarket. So ever since then I installed this OEM Sport Chrono clock. I had to cut into the dash. This was a fun project and a fun video. You can see it right above. I also removed the stereo for a pure driving experience. I also installed this GT4 short shifter, installed some cool stickers here. I also upgraded the steering wheel to this 991.2 steering wheel. And last but not least, I also mounted this radar detector on this blend mount. I have a coupon code, so you can see it in the description if you want to get your own with a nice discount. I also have it hardwired. It was a fun little project. Obviously on the outside I did the exhaust, I did the winter wheels, intakes and all that stuff. Very basic stuff. But now the time has come to work on the interior a little more. I purchased this car knowing that it had these basic two-way seats, and there's nothing really against these seats. They're very huggy, here, they're very huggy here, but I always wanted more. But it just happened to be that I was browsing the interwebs and I found these. These are the Porsche Cayman 718 seats with a nice logo crest up top. And these are called four-way seats. So these bolsters are not only wider, but also the back seat is wider. The only problem is they have this red stitching. Now, my car has no red stitching in it whatsoever. So to mitigate this mismatching problem, I decided to upgrade some more stuff in the interior to include red stitching and red accents, which includes this brand new steering wheel. Now this steering wheel came from a Macan GTS, and it's got this cool 12 o'clock red mark, as well as this beautiful red stitching over here. But obviously I couldn't stop there, so I got this OEM shifter with red stitching, of course. And to top it off, I also got this red face for my Sport Chrono clock. The seats were fairly clean when I purchased them, but I treated them with this product that I use. First I use the cleaner, then I use the conditioner, and not only does this product clean the leather well, but it leaves it with a nice dull finish. Must do. If you care about your seats, there's still some wet residue here. I recently applied the conditioner, and they feel so much softer to the touch. You really have to try this. Oh, and one last thing I forgot to mention. These seats are both heated and ventilated. Those seats are only heated. That was a trade-off I was willing to make. I love the ventilated seats in this car, but I've used them maybe 3 or 4 times this summer. I always forget to use them, and you get the AC going and it's pretty much the same thing. So that was a trade-off I was willing to make. Okay, we're gonna work from the front to the back, starting with this Sport Chrono clock. Again, I did a full video on how to remove everything and all of that, so you can refer to it. But essentially, we're gonna pop these vents starting here. Oh, it goes without saying, the battery should be disconnected. I did so this morning to fully discharge it because we're going to be touching the airbag. We're going to be touching the seats, which have airbags in them. So you definitely want to have the battery turned off. Next, we're going to remove this bezel. So this is what it looks like. You can see my perfect cut from a couple of months ago. But instead of removing it, and it's held using these 2 bolts, one here and one here, I had an idea. This, which is the front face, simply removes. So let's see if I can just simply do this surgery on the car. So check this out. Ooh la la. Now, if you're doing it yourself, you will have a gasket here. I removed this gasket because I got this unit used and the gasket was not in the best shape. So let's see. Well, this simply pops out. Next is we grab a pair of tweezers and take these needles off. Whoa, buddy. This one came off. Oh, no. Nerve-wracking. please. Oh my gosh. If I do lose it, I don't know how I'm gonna replace it. Come on. I need something sticky. Say no more. My dash vent cleaning thing. I stick it in vents and this cleans dust from the vents, but it's super sticky, so check this out. Woo! Ah, we got the needle off. Let's see. There we go, see? And this should allow us to take the face off. Oh yeah, face off, you get it? Face off. Woo-hoo-hoo. Next, we're going to grab a tiny screwdriver, and I have this set. I cannot tell you how many times I've used this set, not only with electronics, but throughout the house. So get yourself one of these, grab a tiny flathead screwdriver, because we have to unmarry these plastics here from this face. Okay, so we're gonna leave it like that because, let's see, this is how it sits on the face. So with the new bezel, there you go. So it's 12, 15, obviously we're gonna align it. So it sits exactly identical. Hey, what if I did a black? Ooh, would this look cool? Check this out. Huh. I guess I can always change it. That one's easy to do. But what do you, this looks pretty awesome actually. The only thing is, it's surrounded by black, so it might actually make the whole face seem a little smaller. But if you have a tan dash, this would look pretty cool. All right, so flipping it upside down, we are aligned. And if you can see, you're aligning it with these holes. So you cannot even misalign this bezel here because it will always force you to these tiny holes. And now we can put this face back on and screw everything back in. So this is how it goes. This goes in here first. Then we're going to align this arrow to 12 o'clock. Bam, it's perfect. Then we're gonna grab the shorter arm of the clock. Okay. And the minute arm, 12 o'clock, and just push it with my finger. Next, we're gonna put this bezel back on. It goes like this. And then, again, you would have a gasket here, but I don't. So for me, just the glass comes on. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm having a hard time putting the bezel back in. So it's the best thing for me to do is to remove this guy and have more room. And just like that, the pocket is back in. Next, we're gonna put the vents back in. It almost sort of wants to sit flat, so you slide it, and then it pushes back in. And look, check this out. This is what the face currently looks like. And even in its current situation, its current look, it looks kind of cool. All right, steering wheel is next. And also refer to my steering wheel video that I did. But essentially, first thing we have to do is pop the airbag off. And this new steering wheel, there are these holes here that you have to put your screwdriver in. And now we can unplug the airbag. Next, we're removing the steering wheel using a CR12 nut. Important to note, when you reuse this nut, you have to reapply some thread lock because technically this is a one-time use part, but if you apply or reapply thread lock, you should be good to go. And it comes right out. Next is swapping the plastics from the old steering wheel to the new one, since the new one didn't come with it, but it's fairly straightforward. You've got a couple of connection points here. You've got to remove these plastics from the back and everything should transfer from this one to that one fairly easy. First, a couple of T20s here, and we can pop this off. Then you pop off these plastics, which reveals additional mounting points here, 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 here. Oh, and this one. Then as you lift the steering wheel, the plastics stay. And now we still have to remove this metal piece. Okay, we can simply pull this out. Just make sure you're bringing the springs with you. And then the last step is this wiring loom. Wiring loom that comes with these plastics, and it's simply, see, it just clips right on. But to make sure we do it right, we're gonna keep the position and check. So out with the old, like Chris Fix says, and in with the new. Clip, clip, clip. And just like that, we are done. So these cables here will just be dangling. I tucked them into the side because again, they're not applicable to this application. The only ones that apply to us are these airbag ones and this clock spring thing. Other than that, we are ready to install it in this car. Okay, the moment of truth. Perfect. All right, now to remove the seats, I did this one thing because it would be very hard to show on camera. The front bolts have these clips over them, so what you do is to remove them is you take a screwdriver, you lift it from here like that, and as you lift, you slide it out and it's gonna slide out from the front rail. When you slide it out from the front rail, it exposes these E12s. There's one here, there's one there, and as you slide the seats forward, you've got one here and one there. So we're gonna start with the back ones first. We're gonna slide the seat back to the front and then remove the seat. Before we got to this step, I actually disconnected 2 plugs underneath the seat. It was absolutely impossible for me to show it on camera, but I'm going to show you once I remove the seat. So now, since everything is loose, the idea is for me to take it and sort of slide it away. Let's see. So what should we talk about? This is so easy. So this is what this looks like without the seat. Essentially, what I had to do under the seat is unplug this guy, and under the seat there's a little sort of guy that you slide it out and it allows you to pull this back in, and then this guy just simply slides out. Well, this also now will give us the opportunity to clean underneath here. Oh, and by the way, this is the difference between the new seats and the old seats. First thing you notice, I mean, this has got to be real leather. I don't know if this is real leather. Maybe you can tell me down below. The new seats, the leather is slightly darker shade of black. And obviously we've got this deviated stitching versus just black stitching on these. All right, the new seats are going in. And we are done. I've realized that I could not use the rail protectors from the base seats, so we're gonna have to get some 718 rail protectors. But this is what these look like. Obviously I cannot recline them because a recline button is electronic. I have to hook up the battery. But check out the difference between these and those. I mean, those seats look super basic, super stock. These seats, I mean, just take a look at it. I'm gonna spare you the pain of watching me do this side since it's exactly the same as the other side. So let's do a quick magic trick. This is before. Bam! Whoa! Take a look at this. This is looking so good, and look at the matching. Oh. Oh my God. Holy moly. This was not planned at all. I set up the camera and I wanted to come in and do the sort of outro. But wow, these seats are so much more comfortable. They're a lot plushier and geez, they hug me. Holy smokes. And look, I've got my my new steering wheel with red stitching which matches this. I mean, and look at this beautiful deviated stitching. This looks awesome. And we're done. Oh wait, we're not done. Ha, you thought we were done. What about this guy? All right, well that should be pretty straightforward. You go from the inside and then you just turn this to the left. All right. This is turned to the right. Nope, left. I have to look it up. Xiaomi L garage shifter. Shifter, you twist the actual boot. Okay, so we twist the boot. Ah. This is how I sometimes double check myself. And then pull by the shifter, just pull it up. Okay, so, all right. And to install it, okay. Whew, this one seems even shorter. How is that possible? Click it back in. Look at this. Oh. Anyways, we're gonna do some beauty shots now. We're gonna take the car for a spin and see if it really made a difference in driving. And we're off. I've got to tell you, I love modifying my car with OEM stuff. You know that the fit and finish is great, and you're getting this sort of enhanced experience, more premium experience, not necessarily aftermarket experience. Although in my case, I don't know what happened, but my airbag light is on. I'm trying to backtrack all the steps. Oh, I think I didn't do my clock spring correctly. So that's what happened, and now I have my my airbag light on. So we're gonna have to tackle that. Anyways, the seats feel absolutely fantastic. What an improvement over the base seats. Not only in the butt department, but also in the shoulder department. The steering wheel, I really like the notch here. It sort of gives the car a bit of an aggressive feel. So cool. Anyways, I don't want to bore you with a lot of stuff. Let me know what you think of this whole thing, and I'm gonna give you an update later on in the video, or maybe next video, on what the airbag light was all about. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. But as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Bye bye.